Hello students, let us discuss two types of resistors. Commercially produced resistors for domestic use or in laboratories are of two major types. They are wire-bound resistors and carbon resistors. Wire-bound resistors are made by winding the wires of an alloy. Okay, for example, manganese, constant, and nichrome, anyone we can use. The choice of these materials is dictated mostly by the fact that their resistivities are relatively insensitive to temperature. But inconveniently, large length is required for making a high resistance. Then, resistors in the higher range are made mostly from carbon. Carbon resistors are compact, inexpensive, and thus find extensive use in electronic circuits. These carbon resistors are made from the mixture of carbon black, clay, and resin binder, which are pressed and then molded into cylindrical rods by heating. These rods are enclosed in a ceramic or plastic jacket. They have the following advantages. I told you they are quite cheap and compact. Another advantage is they can be made with resistance values ranging from few ohms to several million ohms. Color code for resistors. A color code is used to indicate the resistance values of a carbon resistor and its percentage accuracy. Here you can see black 0, brown 1, red 2, orange 3, yellow 4, green 5, blue 6, violet 7, grey 8, white 9. Here gold plus or minus 5%, silver plus or minus 10%, no fourth band means plus or minus 20%. I told you resistors have a set of coaxial colored rings on them. That color codes only we have seen here. Then here you can see some bands here. So first two bands. First one gives us the first significant figure and the second one second significant figure. Then the third band that gives us the decimal multiplier and the fourth one for the tolerance. Tolerance or possible variation in percentage of the indicated value. That means percentage error in that value we can get from this fourth one. Okay. For example, here you can see here first one yellow, V written, violet, BR brown. Then the last one, fourth one, G you can see there. Yellow you know, yellow means 4, violet 7, brown 1, gold plus or minus 5%. So from this we can write the value as 47. There are two significant figures. First one, then violet, second one 7 into that decimal multiplier. That means 10 raised to 1. Brown means 1. So resistance unit is written there ohm, then plus or minus 5%. Students, you know in a conductor electrons are there, they are free to move. But if in that conductor electrons are free to move means in random direction they can move. That's why in that case we can take average velocity as 0 there. Then if this conductor is connected to a cell, that time potential difference will be there, and that time what will happen there, these electrons will move in a particular direction towards that positive end, that will move. So that time for that electrons average velocity will be there. Here you can see drift velocity. That drift velocity is the average velocity gained by free electrons of a conductor in the opposite direction of externally applied electric field. You know, in an external electric field, each electron experiences a force. You know the equation for force. Force is equal to Q into E. But here that charge means we are considering electron here. So Q means that is minus E. So here the force will be minus E into E. Now we have the force, and for electron mass there no, so we can write acceleration from that is F by m. So we can write acceleration is equal to minus E divided by m. Now the average time elapsed between two successive collisions of an electron, that is called relaxation time, that is denoted by tau. We know V is the final velocity of electron, U initial velocity, A acceleration, and T is the time. Here that time means relaxation time. That V means here the drift velocity. I told you that average velocity is known as this drift velocity, that is represented by Vd. That Vd we can write here, Vd is equal to 0 plus A into tau. From this we can substitute the expression for acceleration in this equation. Then you will get Vd equal to minus E tau by m. This is the equation for drift velocity of free electrons. Relation between current density and drift velocity. Drift velocity is the average velocity of free electrons. Current density you know, current per unit area, charge flowing per second per unit area. Then here you can see a conductor having length L. Let V be the potential difference applied across a conductor of length L and area of cross section A. Then we can write its electric field as E is equal to V by L. Let Vd be the drift velocity and we can take N as the number of electrons per unit volume. Then total number of electrons is equal to number of electrons into volume. Volume A into L. So we can write total number of electrons as NaL. Then what about total charge? Q is equal to N into E. Yeah, that N means total number of electrons into E. So here you can see NaL into E, that we can write as NaLe. Now, time taken by an electron to be drifted from one side to other side, that we can write T is equal to L by Vd. L means that is the length of the conductor, Vd is the drift velocity. Now we can write I is equal to Q by T. Q is equal to NaLe, then divided by time. Time is L by Vd. From this we can write NaeVd. So current density J is equal to I by A you know. From this we can write current density as NeVd. Vd is the drift velocity. This is the relation between current density and drift velocity. Okay. Deduction of Ohm's law. You know drift velocity Vd is equal to E tau by m. That we can write E electric field. E is equal to you know V by L. So that we can write here, then that will be E V tau by m into L. But current is equal to NaeVd. Then in this we can substitute for this drift velocity, then NaE into EV tau by ml. Okay. Then N into E square tau by m into A by L into V. That is the current. From this we can write V by I. V by I is equal to ml divided by Ne square tau A. You know V by I is a constant for a given conductor, that is the resistance. So we can write resistance is equal to ml divided by Ne square tau A. So we can write resistance of the conductor is given as ml by Ne square tau A. Now we have resistance equation, that is rho L by A. If you compare this rho L by A to this ml by Ne square tau A, we can get an equation for rho, that is rho is equal to m by Ne square tau. From this we can say this rho depends on the number of free electrons per unit volume of the conductor and the relaxation time. Thank you.